Okay, in this video we're going to learn how to use Excel if statements. And basically an if statement is just a way to make the computer make a decision. It's going to pick between two different things. Either you're going to do this thing or you're going to do this other thing. Either or. And to do that you're going to have an if statement. Now, when you're going to have an if statement, the syntax is a little weird because when you're trying to deal with if statements, you're going to have to actually say the word if, and then you have to give it a condition or ask it a question. Then you've got to, from there, give it instructions. So basically, just like we were talking about in the last video, anytime you're going to start telling the computer what to do in Excel, you start with the equal sign. And then you're going to put a big fat if, capital I, capital F, and it gets really moody if you don't have capital. And basically, right here you're going to have a question, a comma, then you want to do the thing to do if it was yes, and you're going to tell it what to do, what you want to see in this cell, right? And then you're going to tell it what to do if it was no, if the answer was no. So basically there's three parts. You're going to have a question, what to do when it's yes, what to do when it's no. And that's the way that an if statement is going to work. It's going to have these three pieces. Now, then what you do is you're going to kind of fill in the blank depending on what you got going on, and you're going to, again, talk about the values by their cell names. So again, this is a question. That's a question. Then once you've got that question or that condition put in right here, in the event that that is yes, then you're going to have some kind of value that should have happened if it was yes. And then after this second comma, in the event that it was no, you'll say, I want you to do this business, or I want this to show up in the cell when it was no. So question, yes value, no value. Awesome. Now, and basically it says this is a what you're going to be doing is you're going to say this business right here, this question is a maybe. Maybe I'll do this first thing, or maybe I'll do this second thing. Now, I'm sure that's about as clear as mud. So here's what we're going to do. We want to talk about whether or not Bob is passing, if he's going to pass the class. Now let's think about this. If I want to know if he's going to pass, if he has passed the class, what's important? What makes that decision? His homework average, his test average, his final exam, or his final grade? Well, it's going to be his final grade. This is the thing that's important to us to make a decision about whether he's passing. Now, here's what's strange. When I'm doing my calculation, I do not want to say 59. I do not want to say 59. I want to talk about this cell by his name. That cell's name is E3. So make sure you understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this cell right here. This cell is what's important to my decision, and his name is E3. So here it comes. Put your cursor where it is that you want this thing to show up, and basically right here I want it to either say the word pass or I want it to say the word fail. Either or. One or the other. So here comes my if statement. You ready for this? Always start with your equal sign. Then capital If, parenthesis, and it's going to try to help you out here with some hints, which is weird. But basically what I want to know is, here's my question, and I want to know if that final grade that we were just looking at over here, if it's high enough. But I don't want to call it 59, I want to call it E3. So if whatever is in, E3 is high enough, and what's the lowest D, a 65? If it is, now that means, what I type right there means greater than or equal to. You can't, that's not how you write it in math, but you can't type it in the computer the way you would write the math. So you say literally greater than or equal to. So this says if his final grade is high enough, and then this is the yes condition. I would like for, if that's true, I literally want to see the word pass. And you have to put it in quotes. You're going to say, that's what I want to see. I want to see that word in this cell. Then give me another comma. This is the no option. So if the answer to this question was yes, if yes, his grade is greater than or equal to 65, then you'll see the word pass. This is the no option. Well, what word do I want to see if that answer to that was no? Fail. And there it is. So that's kind of scary looking, but remember, it's just it's a question, and then what you want when the answer to that question is yes, what you want to happen when the answer to that question is no. Now this dude's failing, and again, I'm going to be really lazy and watch my cursor. I'm going to click here, right in the bottom corner of it, drag it all the way down, and it fills it in for everybody. So look, old Fred was passing, and notice again, it updated the formula. It was just smart enough to realize that you wanted to change. Instead of having E3, it changed to E4. When you drag it to George, it changed it to E5, and it filled in the blanks. Now, why is this cool? Because now, remember, last video we made this, calculated it, and is dynamic, and this is also dynamic. So if Bob actually did his homework, if I change that one thing, then both of these change for you. If he skipped the final and was smoking in the back stairway instead, this final, well, that's kind of sad that you can still pass. Anyway, that will change his final grade. Let's say he failed his tests, changes his final grade, and changes whether or not he's passing. So, again, an if statement is just a way for you to make a decision. I either want to see the word passing or the word failing, either or, and that's based on this question. Just watch the syntax. Capital if, and then you got commas separating them, and then these values have to have quotes around them. Now you can you can teach your computer to make decisions.